Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam-Wilber. This is Volpine Creations. If you don't know, we never monetize any of these videos. If you do want to support us, it would mean the world to us. Head over to volpinecreations.com and sign up for our newsletter. That way you'll know when anything new is coming out, and I promise you we won't hit you up with any sort of email unless it's to announce a new product or to give you something for free. That's all the advertising we're going to do. Let's dive right into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a question that came up in the comments, which is, how do you handle event planners? So for instance, if I'm booking a show and it's not, say, a family show where the mother in the family called and said, I'm trying to organize an event for my family, but on the other side of it, it is a professional that's also been hired by another professional for the entertainment for that evening. So they're gonna reach out to you and they're gonna say, this is the event, this is the budget, this is what we're looking for. Is that something you can do? Now, you do have to handle them a little bit differently than a normal customer. Let's say a family event where the mother or the father or someone like that hires you. And there's a few reasons why you should. First and foremost, this person's job is on the line if you do a bad job. So if you show up and it's a bad show, or even worse, you offend somebody in the audience, you do something, say something that's a bit off color, or just offensive in general, that person could lose that client, which could in turn be hundreds of thousands of dollars for that person a year. So there's a lot more on the line for an event planner to present a good performer than, say, somebody hiring someone to come to your house. And you have to know that that's their number one fear. When you're talking to this person, realize they don't really care about you. What they care about is that you're not gonna make them look stupid in front of their client. And better yet, you're not only not gonna make them look stupid, you're gonna make them look like a rock star. If you know that going into the conversation, if you know that their mentality is the client gonna come up to me after and say, great job hiring that magician? That's their goal, right? They don't care if you've been on Penn and Teller Fool Us or if you've been around the world touring your show. That's some good social proof, and that might get the initial phone call. But once you're talking to them, understand that it's not about you and you doing a show and your show that you're going to present. It's about, hey, I understand what you've been tasked with. It's a daunting thing. I understand that. But let me put your mind at ease by telling you, first and foremost, I make it a strict habit that nothing in my show could even be considered offensive by any audience. That's a very important thing to me. I would never want your client coming up to you at the end of the show and being upset because of something I said or did. If you say that in the conversation in a natural way, they're instantly going to understand this person gets it. This person understands what my needs are, and he or she is here to fulfill those needs. And that really is sort of across the board. You have to understand the clientele that you're talking to and what their fears are, right? What their challenges are. If you're in the corporate world and you've got somebody in the HR department hiring you for a keynote speech, again, this person might have been at that company for 35 years and they're a year away from retirement. But they know if a keynote speaker that they spend $10,000 on comes up there and butchers it, that could be the end of their job. While for us, a bad show or a joke that doesn't hit and maybe offended somebody, we can look at that as, okay, lesson learned. But you have to realize that a lot of the people that are hiring you, that isn't just a lesson learned. That could be a really traumatic experience in their life that could potentially end their job. I know that sounds a bit extreme, but it's true and it has happened. My point is, if you know these things going in, then you can adjust your conversation accordingly. And I also need to be very diligent that I'm speaking the language that they understand. If I come out and tell them how great of a diagonal palm shift I can do and that I was on Penn and Teller and I go perform at the Magic Castle, cool. I've already accepted the social proof enough to get on the phone with you. I don't care about that. What I care about is my client gonna come up to me after the show and say to me, great job hiring that magician. If you can speak that language to them, you're gonna be way ahead of most of the pack, okay? So again, understand that event planners really don't care about your show. They certainly don't care about you. What they care about is doing a good job. And their job is hire somebody that's gonna entertain, that's not gonna offend, and that's gonna hit all of the buckets that we're asking for. Maybe it's entertainment with a message. Maybe it's entertainment with making the CEO appear. Whatever that may be, that's what they care about. So keep that in mind when you're having these conversations with event planners. So that's it for today. Just a real quick kind of Adam's insights. I've dealt with a lot of event planners. I even wrote a book for event planners on how to plan the best event. And I interviewed about 50 event planners through a podcast I did years ago. And there was pretty much one underlying theme. What I care about is doing a a good job for my client. So as the magicians or the entertainers, that's all we should know going in. They care about doing a good job for their client. What does that mean? Find out what their client would consider a good job and exceed those expectations. You do that, you speak their language, they are going to put you in their Rolodex and you will be their go-to magician. When an event comes up, they've got the confidence that you understand this game and it's not about you or your magic show, but you understand what it's really about, and they'll use you time and time again. So I hope that helps somebody out there. I hope you guys and girls are getting out there performing, sharing your magic with the world, putting smiles on faces. And thanks so much for being here on this channel. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the notification. I would love a like, but also more importantly, I would love some comments below. What questions may I answer that would help you in your career or your performing style? If you have any questions whatsoever, drop them in the comment below and we'll do our very best to address each and every one. Thanks again for your time. Until next time, friends, onward.